round 4 of the 2024 Porsche 944 Challenge Series Australia. Round 4 is presented by Campione Electrics and Maintenance, with thanks to our supporting partners: Porsche Australia, Advan Yokohama Tyres, LK Diesel Service, Don Watson Transport, Butcher's Diner, Melbourne, Stratton Finance, Hobart, 1800 Lasagna, AVI Technology, EJM Financial Advice, Raceline, 888 Home Loans, Pit Lane Clothing. Round 4 sees the championship head back to the historic home of horsepower, Sandown Motor Raceway. Located around 30 kilometres east of the Melbourne CBD, the circuit is 3.1 kilometres long and runs in an anti-clockwise direction. The track is well known for its long straights and therefore good slipstream effect, and the close concrete walls. Overall, there are 13 corners. The key ones to watch out for are Turn 1, a high-speed entry with high curbs. Turn 4, a tight hairpin corner, but one which you need good drive from for the long back straight. Turn 6, the fastest corner on the circuit. And Turn 12, a tight twisty corner which leads onto the long front straight and towards the start-finish line. Qualifying took place on Saturday morning, and it was the two-time series champion Jamie Westaway who returns to the series for this round and claims a commanding pole over arch-rival Cameron Bella. Mark Verdino starts from P3, with current championship leader Adam Brewer in P4. Reigning champion Chris Lewis-Williams will start from P5 alongside the number 77 of Joey Calder. Two-time race winner Mark Torbett starts from P7 in his newly liveried car next to the boss Tony Andrzejewski, who comes from position 8. Tony Westaway comes out of row 5 in the black and yellow machine alongside Richard Howe in the number 8. Jared Campione starts from P11 in the category round naming Campione Electrics Porsche, with Manny Mazzaselma next to him in position 12. Fast riser Nick Carpenter starts from P13 alongside West Australian Andy Tudor, who debuts the Pit Lane Clothing Porsche this weekend. Josh Brisbane comes next from position 15 in the number 56 green machine, and Peter Grant sits alongside him, following on from a fantastic debut round at the Bend in South Australia. Carter Fox suffered a clutch failure in qualifying and will struggle to make the grid. Likewise, Johnny Venoris was classified as a qualifier. With no time set, both will seek steward's permission to start the race. Race 1 began on Saturday afternoon, and the field rolled out in sunny and dry conditions.
So good to be at the horsepower, the home of horsepower, Sandown. We've got the 944s on track. I'm Darren Smith, and right beside me is a very excited Jack Atley. Jack, you've just come from the launch of a new car for the 944 season down in the paddock.
Good afternoon, Darren. Good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're watching on the Blendline coverage all around the world. It is fantastic to be back at the iconic Sandown Motor Raceway. I have, Daz, there's a couple of new cars in the category. Great to see the boys out in the bright sunshine. Right on screen there, if you look now, is the Pit Lane Clothing car. They're driven by Andy Tudor, so fantastic to see that one out there. Mark Torbett is also in a newly liveried car. So yeah, there's plenty of excitement, plenty of action. This category is close at the best of times, but it is definitely heating up in the championship right now. 3 points, Daz, between the top 3 drivers. So we're certainly looking forward to this one.
18 of Germany's finest, the Porsches, the 944s on track. And we're about to get away. The all-important green flag waved at the back. The radios have lit up for the drivers. Set yourselves up. There's the red light. Look but don't stare. Bella gets wheel spin. Westaway gets away nicely. Brewer goes with Verdino. Are they going to gazump Bella?
Westaway grabbed the lead as the field charged towards turn 1.
Westaway, a beautiful start, just drives across in front, no harm, no foul. Verdino to the inside. This is going to be the big move into turn number 1.
Brewer was keen to get moving early too, but a slide on cold tyres saw him run wide. However, with wall damage from the previous race, No passing was allowed into turns 3 and 4, so the field remained calm.
But Bella in P2, Jamie Westaway, multi-championship winner. Behind him, another more multi-championship winning Cam Bella.
Absolutely, the boys really taking it easy through turn 3s and turn 4 there. That is under yellow flags as we see them head off on the lap. Now, Jamie Westaway there in the gold car.
Westaway led the opening laps.
Cam Bella there in the Aqua car, 4-time champion. And the number 3 of Adam Brewer in the AVI technology car, currently leading the championship, Daz, so he does not want to make any mistakes.
Benora slowed and Brisbane took that place.
Swap position there. That is Venoris Brisbane
Joshy,
going through.
Joshy Brisbane there in the bright green, number 56. Johnny Venoris just trailing off there, had some issues in qualifying, so it's a shame to see Johnny Venoris not even quite getting round lap 1. But
Selma receiving a 10-second penalty. Campione suffered an early drama on the outlap, meaning a pit lane start, but he continued to circulate.
Jared Campione, and we thank Campione Electrics for sponsoring this category this round. Great to have Jared and the Campione Electrics on board. In fact, that is Jared Campione in the pink and white striped car out in front. Now, we're not sure if he's actually had an absolute blinder of a start, or
He started from the lane. So he
started from the lane. So yeah, he's going to get caught up there. Ads Brewer really pushing hard already, going across that ripple strip at the fastest section of the track here.
Brewer was throwing everything at the leaders, sliding into the fast turn 6.
For the championship,
look at
Ads
that.
Brewer.
Good
Whoa!
catch there by Ads Brewer. That is a big slide, isn't it? Enter stage right. Thank goodness he didn't exit stage left. Gathered it all back up as Jared Campione just gets out of the way of the leaders in this race. There's the number.
Things began to heat up.
Incident. Have a look at that. Lewis Williams on the Le Mans flashes coming up through the causeway up onto the kink there. So last year's champion saying, come on boys, let's get on with this.
Verdino saw his chance, and then Lewis Williams attacked as well.
Brewer slide his way into the top of the hill as well, side by side. They've done it before. They plunge into Dandenong Road, up over the ripple strips. That is finding track limits, and down the inside, Lewis Williams on Ads Brewer. Gathers it up, no harm, no foul yet, but going west there was Jared Campione.
They're all over the place. The boys are fighting hard. They really need the championship points. And you've got
Andrzejewski and Howe battled hard.
Richard Howe, or Dickie Howe to his mates, Tony Andrzejewski to his mates, the boss of Porsche Australia, one of the bosses of Porsche Australia, and they're racing pretty hard there. And Mark Torbitz has commandeered another different car this weekend.
He has. That is a brand new car, and we should mention that car there for El Presidente. Mark Torbitz is running a brand new liveried car this weekend. That is actually a throwback retro, virtually identical copy of the Alan Moffat Le Mans car back in the 70s. So
Torbitz tried his hand against Selma and eventually grabbed him under brakes into turn 1.
fantastic effort by El Presidente there to turn that car out so beautifully.
Matty Zelma of his +5 seconds off the start line. Under brakes, Mark Torbitz looks up the inside now, goes through on Manny Zelma. Of course, Mark Torbitz won a race at Winton.
Carpenter too decided to weigh in.
These guys travel over, and they were a support category to the Super Fail Asian series that Taylor and Ben equipped themselves very, very well, the Porsche 944s. And we're back here now for this one.
Up front, Bella was doing his best to stick with Westaway.
A little bit coming and going at the moment in the championship, and he's just returning this weekend. He's missed a couple of rounds, Jamie, but the skill of a Jamie Westaway is on show here for sure. The guy comes back, having not sat in a race car for a couple of months, and throws it on pole position and actually is leading the race. So that is the skill of a Jamie Westaway.
Brewer likewise with Verdino.
Mark Verdino there in the side link number 44, and Ads Brewer just sitting behind him, biding his time. As I mentioned, Ads Brewer is currently leading the championship, so he really wants to have a good, clean weekend, get through it, not have any major incidents or major mistakes, and bank the points, because with a couple of races to go, this championship is definitely heating up.
Calder cleared out from Tony Westaway.
Field comes streaming through here. get a good look at the entire field coming through. Off the back of Carpenter comes Andy Tudor in the pit lane clothing entry. And that livery stands out very much. Jack, you were saying at the start or introduction, you've been to the launch of that car in the paddock.
I have been to the launch of that car in the paddock there. Number 15 of Andy Tudor there in the pit lane clothing, Porsche 944. If you want some off-track apparel, head to pitlaneclothing.com. Andy's just come off a fantastic weekend at Phillip Island last weekend where he was on the front row in an Audi R8. He's certainly used to high speed, and he's having a rich reign of form lately, Andy Tudor. So he's swapping between multiple cars, but running the Audi R8 there as well down at Phillip Island last weekend, straight into this round. So yeah, we wish Andy all the best as he returns to the category in the pit lane clothing 944.
Vinoris trying his best to get back to the pits.
He's going very slowly there. That's not good.
Johnny Vinoris just getting round, I would say, trying to get back towards the pits as the leaders sort of grab him there, heading towards this long back straight.
With one lap to go, Bella had one more chance.
Oh, very, very close there from Cambrello as he edges near the wall coming out of turn 4. They really want the drive all the way up this long back straight, and he knows he's got one last chance to have a crack at Jamie Westaway, who does not make many mistakes at all. So this will be pretty rare and tight if he can do it. He's sitting right on his bumper.
But the two-time champion Westaway was just too solid. No mistakes, cool and calm under pressure.
Jamie Westaway is just very, very solid in defence. The Minister for Defence is holding the position there at the moment, and he just is not going to let Cambella get through. So with a couple of corners to go, it's the multiple champion, Jamie Westaway, in the gold or bronze coloured car that is heading towards the final set of corners.
He's turning bronze into gold.
He is turning bronze into gold.
He's come straight out of Paris to Sandown between Springvale and Dandenong.
Absolutely.
Jamie Westaway brings home the win for the weekend on Saturday afternoon too.
Whilst a great mid-pack battle was fighting right to the line.
And this is our midfield here, being led by Richard Howe, Tony Andrzejewski. The Jared Campione car there from Campione Electrics is really not in this. He's sort of a lap down at this point in time. Tony Andrzejewski in the 27 goes through, but it will be Richard Howe, Tony Andrzejewski and Mark Torbitz in.
Carpenter also pushing all the way to stay ahead of Mezzaselma. So a very solid and clean race win. In race 1 for Jamie Westaway over Cameron Bella, Mark Verdino home in a great third podium spot, Adam Brewer and Chris Lewis-Williams banking points, Mark Torbitz in his new car completing the top 10. Over the page, Nick Carpenter just outside the 10 and again showing great form. Andy Tudor returns to the category to grab 13th after suffering clutch dramas mid-race. Round partner Jared Campione home in 15th, with Johnny Vinoris classified as the last of the runners. Peter Grant unfortunately suffering a head gasket issue, and Carter Fox also unable to rectify a mechanical issue suffered in qualifying, which meant both of them were classified as did not starts. On Sunday morning, the field rolled out under stunning blue skies. Conditions considered perfect for fast lap times.
Welcome back trackside now. Porsche 944's on track.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the iconic Sandown Raceway in Melbourne. Race 2 for the weekend. Jamie Westaway, the multiple champion, to lead off the field. Beautiful conditions here at Sandown, so should be fast times. Light is on, revs rise. Look out for the gold and the green car. Bella gets some wheel spin off the line. Mark Verdino in the number 44 gets away really well, just ahead of Adam Brewer. Chris Lewis-Williams also had a great start. He really wants to get a fantastic start down here into turn 1.
It was again Westaway who led the charge.
Coming into turn 1, this is going to be tight. It's the gold car of Jamie Westaway, though, who leads the field.
Bella slotted into second, Verdino, Brewer and Lewis-Williams next in the chain.
Mark Verdino there slotting into third and adds Brewer just into fourth. The Baron of Benalla, number 37, Chris Lewis-Williams there, sitting back in fifth. He had a bit of a patchy run yesterday. You can see the field streaming through out of turn 4. They really want to get this great run up this long back straight.
Howe charged up 4 spots.
Very, very tight going down there into the fastest part of the circuit there. into the bottom of Dandenong Road. It's Jamie Westaway in the gold car, the very familiar gold car. Joey Calder there in the 1-800 Lasagna. You can see Mark Torbert's there in the newly liveried number 71.
Torbert's close behind.
Now, Joey Culloch, of course, always exciting to see Joey Culloch as he gets the drive out of the last corner here at Sandown. And the veteran, King Richard, number 8, Richard Howe, really mixing it with the pack. They're currently sitting in 8th. In fact, he's just grabbed a spot.
Leader Westaway pushing early, going wide at turn 1.
Slight lock of the brakes there from Westaway. He's already feeling the pressure. In fact, he goes very wide into turn 1.
The top 5 settled in. But Brewer and Lewis Williams wanted to make ground early. And suddenly, a real dogfight was forming between Verdino, Brewer and Lewis Williams.
You need to get the great drive off that corner because you've got these long straights here at Sandown where you really need to take advantage of the slipstream. And you can see that's what Cam Balla is trying to take advantage of there. In fact, he might have a crack here under Jamie Westaway. Very, very close racing. And just behind them, Adam Brewer, the Black Widow Spider in the black car, really wanted to have a lunge there at Mark Verdino, but couldn't quite get it done. This is very, very tight racing. It always is in the Porsche 944 category, but
Verdino was pushing hard to get away.
Again, very, very tight racing. You can see there Brewer locking up again. He's all over the back of the Vendetta. Mark Verdino, the number 44 car there. Brewer wants these points because Brewer was leading the championship up till yesterday. Just 3 points separating these top 3 guys in the championship, and that's where every single race and every single corner and every single lap is so important. In
mid-pack, Mezzaselma saw his chance on Howe.
Looking back down the field, there's a very well-known car that you know, Matty Mezzaselma there in the number 10. You can see Nick Carpenter there in the red car just ducking towards Jared Campione, who is the round sponsor, and we thank Campione Electrics for sponsoring this round. Of course, Jared in the number 88 pink and white striped liveried car, and there's Andy Chu.
And Campione decided to attack Howe under brakes into turn 4.
Big bump there by Jared Campione. He did very, very well. King Richard got a real good tap there from Jared Campione, and I'll tell you what, you're playing with fire if you're going to start rubbing with Richard Howe, because he is not going to mess around. He's a seasoned campaigner, King Richard as we call him. He's been around the game a long time and he's seen it all, and usually it's Richard Howe handing out the punishment to some of the newer guys, but in that case he got a bit of a tap there from Jared Campione. So here's a replay as they come into turn 3 and turn 4. Jared's got a little bit tight on the brakes. He saw an opportunity, but he's just tapped him. But how is the skill of the King Richard? Sideways out of turn 4, the man is still throwing it through corners. So fantastic to see that Richard Howe has retained that spot.
This fight let Carpenter through.
In fact, Jared's jumping back a spot because Nick Carpenter in the red car there has now got ahead of him, and Andy Tudor is now launching all over the back of those 2 guys as well. So here comes Tudor in the number 15, having a big lunge down the bottom into turn 1. Can't quite get it done there, but Andy Tudor there in the number 15. There he is on screen there. We were talking about him. He's just had a cracking weekend last weekend at Phillip Island.
Up front, suddenly the fight for the podium was coming all undone.
Jared's car looks very, very loose, I've got to say. That number 88 of the Campione Electrics car really close to the wall again. We've had an incident as well, looks like between the Black Widow Spider and the Vendetta. Number 44 there, Mark Verdino. They've come together by the looks of it. It's a fast part of the circuit up the top there. That is the fastest corner on the circuit, turn 6. So
a wild ride into the fastest corner on the track for Verdino, Brewer and Lewis Williams.
Here we go for the replay there as we head up. Chris Lewis Williams there on the far right of the screen. Now he's had a duck towards it. Oh, Verdino's got into the side of him, and 2 big spins from the Black Widow Spider and the Vendetta. How they have held that together through that corner is unbelievable. The 2 of them have done 2 360s and kept going. And I can tell you what, a few years ago that would have been a fence. That would have been an absolute slam into a wall, but they've made massive safety improvements, thank goodness, to this circuit, and that is a high-speed incident. But the 2 of them have kept going, and they are still in the race. So, wow, there's a few of them here. As I said, Emma, at the start of this race, they are not messing around. And let's have one final look at this. Now, you've got Chris Lewis-Williams there, who's decided to make a move. He's gone to the inside there. He's on the right screen. Verdino really had nowhere to go and got sandwiched. And Adam Brewer trying to make the corner really, once again, also had little room to go. So they've tapped each other, and unfortunately, those two have taken each other out, and the Baron of Vanilla continues on his merry way. So,
as Brewer and Verdino still went at it.
And they're still going at it, the two of them again. They're not giving up. I mean, what a performance. It looks like I'll have to see another replay or maybe another angle. We do get onboards from this car, but here's another replay again. This is the perfect angle from Blendline TV. You can see that Brewer in the black car and Verdino in the blue and white sidling car have come together, but you had the Baron of Benalla, Chris Lewis-Williams, who does not hold back and is the reigning champion. He was on the inside of that corner, so it really tightened up there for Mark Verdino, who was sitting in the middle of the pack. Really had nowhere to go. Of course, Adam Brewer also has to make that corner. His alternative is to just go way too wide. So the three of them tried to go into the corner, and unfortunately 3 into 1 does not go. For sure, we're seeing a couple more incidents. The boys are starting to rev up. They played it pretty calmly and pretty coolly yesterday, but they know that this is the feature race of the weekend, and that means more points for the championship. And at this stage of the game, with the championship being so tight, every point is critical.
And with Brewer desperate for points, eventually he got through on the number 44.
And the number 3 of Adam Brewer, who again has a lunge into Dandenong Road. These guys are not giving up. They know that's a great passing opportunity, and they know that they need to be in front down here, down the bottom of Dandenong Road, which is a hard braking position. Ads Brewer has got through there finally and eventually.
Calder was coming under attack from Andrzejewski, Torbets and Tony Westaway. Andrzejewski grabbed the spot over Calder, moving up to 6th. And then a slide saw Torbets get through as well.
Looks like some flailing bodywork on Tony Westaway's car, but he's having a good weekend as well. So he's in the number 50 yellow and black car. Again, these two are just going hammer and tong with potentially, Emma, I'd say 1 or 2 laps to go. The Black Widow Spider, Adam Brewer, number 3, holds it together though through these series of corners down the bottom of what we call Dandenong Road. Flicks it through the kink, grabs a bit of the ripple strip and then turns it left. Back to the boss, number 27, Tony Andrzejewski on screen. They're really coming under pressure from Joey Calder. And the number 77, he's all over the place. Not that unusual for Joey. He's got that distinctive sliding brake style. He throws it into corners. He backs it into corners. Don't worry about Joey. He will throw everything he's got at this race. He's just a passionate man who loves his racing and really tries his absolute best every time he hits the track.
And Tudor showed courage with a great move around Carpenter into the fast turn 6. Tony Westaway wanted to move up too. However, with a sudden hose breaking on his machine, fluid from the Westaway car threw him into a spin. Calder, following close behind, had nowhere to go. He too taking to the gravel.
Final lap, and unfortunately they've come together too. That's Calder and Tony Westaway.
Carpenter, next on the road, also a victim.
Well, and Nick Carpenter's involved. And I'll tell you what, there goes Andy Tudor and Jerry Campione flying through. Josh Brisbane there just wandering past, giving them a wave in the number 56 green machine as well.
Meaning Mesoselma, Howe and Tudor were all up into the top 10.
Out in front though, the multiple champion, Jamie Westaway, has not been troubled as he heads up towards the back straight. Cambella just slightly back now.
Waved yellow flags also meant no passing into the final corners.
On the last lap, looks like a pretty solid incident down the bottom here of Dandenong corner. All drivers are perfectly fine. They hit the sand trap there and stopped the cars. And Tony Westaway there is still beached in that sand. So that's why you're seeing double wave yellow flags.
It didn't matter to Westaway. The two-time series champion with a stunning lights to flag victory.
It is the multiple champion, Jamie Westaway. who in his gold-coloured, beautiful Porsche 944 comes across the line to take victory in race number 2. Cam Bella will slot in just behind him in position number 2, and the Baron of Benalla, Chris Lewis Williams, comes across the line to complete the podium.
A late spin for Campione saw him dropping back behind Brisbane.
Another spinner there, Jared Campione, out of turn 4 on the final lap. So Jared was a little bit loose there coming out of turn 4 early in the race. He's finally cried enough. I presume by the looks of that, that's what's happened to Joey has copped that, and you can see Nick Carpenter there, the number 14 Red Machine, has also come a cropper due to what is potentially some fluid coming out of the back of Tony Westaway car. Now, I would hazard another guess there that fluid has gone onto the rear wheels. Tony's got down the bottom and literally is a passenger at that stage because the car will just spin on its own fluids. So he's spun on that one. Joey Keller's come through close behind and unfortunately had nowhere to go. And then Nick Carpenter has also unfortunately been a victim of that fluid on the track. So we look forward to catching you for this afternoon's race in the Campione Electrics Porsche 944 category.
So it's Jamie Westaway with his second victory of the weekend, more good championship points for Cameron Bella, home in second, and a solid third for Chris Lewis Williams. A hard-fought fourth place for Mark Verdino after a tough race with Adam Brewer. Tony Andrzejewski into sixth, Andy Tudor into the top 10 in the new pit lane clothing car, Joey Kellick, Josh Brisbane and Peter Grant all fighting for the remaining spots, with Nick Carpenter and Jared Campione classified as the last of the runners. Tony Westaway and Johnny Venoris troubled with mechanical issues. On Sunday afternoon, race 3, the final race of the weekend, and the weather was suddenly looking very ominous, with a major storm threatening, putting the whole field on notice to get rolling early.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the closing stages of bringing in this massive storm. Round 4 of the Victorian State Circuit Racing Championships presented by 888 Home Loans. I'm Darren Smith. I'm going to jump off air now here because Jack Atley has got a fantastic guest commentator joining him in Carter Fox.
Thank you very much, Darren. Great to be back again. This is the final race of the weekend here for the 944 Porsche category. It is tight at the best of times, but as you can potentially see on your TV screens there, the weather is coming, so this could go anywhere. My name is Jack Atley, but we do have a very special guest here this afternoon. One of the drivers in the 944 category, Carter Fox, normally campaigning his own car in the number 7, but he's sitting out this race.
Well, firstly, thanks for the intro, Jack, and thanks to Blendline for the opportunity for having me up here. We unfortunately had a clutch let go in qualifying, and we were unable to get that sorted due to the nature of a transaxle. But it's just a massive opportunity. Thanks to AJ and Poolmaster for even getting me on the grid for this weekend.
Fantastic. Great to have you up on board. Great to have you up in the commentary box as the guys line up now for race 3 of the weekend. We're just waiting for the lights of the starter. They want to get this one underway because the rains are coming. Adam Brewer will be keen to bank some points here.
The front row of Westaway and Bella fast off the line.
As the boys get away, Kellick got away well there. Bella got a little bit of wheel spin, but it's Jamie Westaway who leads the field now down into turn 1 as they stream down this long straight at Sandown. They really want to take advantage of the slipstream. Side by side, these two multiple champions. Brewer in the black and red car pulls out Chris Lewis Williams, the number 37 tyre power car, slots in there just behind in number 3. I think he's nabbed Verdino.
Lewis Williams grabbed Verdino.
And Adam Brewer, the Black Widow Spider, slots in just behind in 5th. They really want to get the drive out of this corner, this turn 4 corner, because as Carter, as you well know, it is a long straight here at Sandown. So what are the boys looking to do straight away on this first lap?
That's exactly right, Jack. It's a super critical throttle pickup point. You want to rotate the car super early on the way into turn 4 so you can get really good power out. Obviously, it's probably nearly a kilometre up the back straight and uphill. So with a lot of guys really close up, you need a critically good exit to get up these back straight.
The boys are hitting into the fastest corner on the track there. That's turn 6, the famous turn 6 here at Sandown Motor Raceway.
And then wanted Bella.
On screen there, as Lewis Williams dives under Bella, really trying to attack him early. Verdino's all over the place. Adam Brewer's trying to slot in there as well. This is always close racing in the 944 Association. It is nose to tail. Jamie Westaway there in the number 28 car Pretty cool customer, Jamie Westaway, and multiple champion.
This allowed Verdino to close up, and Brewer moving as well.
All these three guys at the top of the field are separated by 3 points in the category at the moment for the championship, and with not many races to go, every point, every corner, every lap is critical.
Exactly right, Jack, and that's why Chris is getting so aggressive with Cam, is because he knows that's on the line and he wants to get in front and get those points for the championship.
Verdino stayed strong and held position.
Really wants to take advantage of that drive off turn 12.
The top 4 cleared out.
They are very, very close, the guys at the front of the pack, as they usually always are. We're hearing reports that the rain is just 10 kilometres away, and with 10 minutes to go in this race, if this rain hits, believe us, ladies and gentlemen, you will see a show, because these guys are tight at the best of time, and you can see there the top 4 guys separated by a very, very minimal margin.
Andrzejewski had moved away into his own spot too.
But you really want to maximise your tyre pressures. Tyre temp isn't so critical, but just being gentle with them, not spinning them up too much off the slow speed stuff, and easing them into those high load, high cornering forced turns.
Very, very good technical information there.
The top 4 could see the rain coming and were pushing hard.
But looking back towards the front of this race, these guys know they really want to get up the front of this race. If that rain hits, which is potential, we're hearing reports at the moment that it is spitting rain. And if the rain comes, it's going to cause an absolute circus. That's why these guys are really pushing hard now.
Suddenly, a real threat as light rain started falling.
And we are definitely hearing reports of spitting rain. So if that rain, which has been threatening, hits, then with still a number of laps to go in this category. In fact, there we go. If we look at number 14 of Nick Carpenter, he's got the wipers on.
Mid-pack, Carpenter was keen to clear Mezzaselma, Campione and Grant.
Great to see Jared out on track. You can see the wiper blades are being switched on these cars. Nick Carpenter there in the number 14 red car, just being followed by Manny Mezzaselma. Jared Campione there in the number 88, just behind him. Peter Grant too, flying there, and he's had a great run into the category. Peter Grant had a fantastic run in Adelaide at the Bend in our last round, so fantastic to see Peter Grant still travelling well.
And likewise, with rain approaching, Bella saw his chance to get ahead, knowing the threat of a safety car was very real.
Fourth in these top 4, I should say, but he's taking advantage of the slipstream. He's going to have a bit of a lunge there. It's still Westaway who holds the position going into turn 1. Cam Bella getting very, very close, getting very interested as they head towards turn 3 and turn 4. Now, if this rain starts to come, the boys will start sliding all over the place. They do have a semi-slick tyre on this car. You can talk a lot more about that, Carter.
Yeah, exactly. So as the rain comes down, track gets wet. Things you're going to watch out for: curbs. You really don't want to play, especially around this joint with the curbs. Turn 6 is a little bit not so bad because the car's already straight, so you can just kind of hop over it. But even the painted lines you can see there on the sides of the track.
With the fight on and everyone pushing, suddenly Campione and Mezzaselma came together.
Absolutely. Yep, no, you want to stop those corners. But just seeing a replay here. Oh, Manny Mezzaselma has had a big coming together with Jared Campione coming out of turns 11 and 12.
This caused yellow flags to be waved into turns 11 and 12, meaning no passing.
They're taking advance. Now we've got a yellow flag that may be through to Manny Mezzaselma still being beached out on the grass. That is critical because that is effectively the final corner. This is a 13 corner track, but corner 13 is pretty much flat to the boards and a straight corner for the guys in these cars. But if there's no passing, which you cannot do under yellow flags, that means that you need to get the job done before you get to that corner. You're talking about now, definitely the wiper blades are on. The wiper blades are on with Adam Brewer in the background there. So, and there's another wiper blade for Cameron Bella. The rains have come.
Almost at the same time, Calix spun at that corner.
And we've still got 3 minutes to go. Tell you what, we have just been hit with a red flag. They have annulled this race. Now, we've got a car which is stopped on the main straight. It's Joey Callick there in the 1-800 Lasagna car, but currently we are under red flag conditions. It is our understanding that what we're hearing from race officials are that this race may have been called early and they will not be resuming this race. Now, whether that is due to a car in a dangerous position, which may cause an incident and they're worried about that, or just simply the amount of rain that is expected to hit this track. Let's have a look at a replay here and see what happens. So Joey Cullick there in the 1-800 Lasagna car has got on that ripple strip that exactly what Carter Fox was just talking about.
With that, officials had seen enough, and with Meza Selma's car unable to be moved in time, the race was immediately red flagged.
We have been banging on about it. The amount of rain that is expected to hit the track in the near future very quickly may have caused officials to say, right, let's pull the plug on this one. But under red flag conditions, that is potentially going to conclude that race. And what we're hearing officially now is that will be the conclusion of race 3 of the Porsche 944 Challenge Series. We thank very much everyone involved, especially Campione Electrics and all our partners in the 944 category for a fantastic weekend of racing.
So, with the race called early by officials, it was again Jamie Westaway who took top spot, 3 from 3 race-winning weekend for the former champion. Cameron Bella again home in second, and with a real haul of championship points for the weekend, Chris Lewis-Williams completed the podium. Mark Verdino and Adam Brewer also with solid weekends. Tony Andrzejewski too with a strong weekend, home in 6th. Mark Torbis, Joey Cullick, Richard Howe and Tony Westaway complete the top 10 there. Andy Tudor just outside the top 10. Nick Carpenter and Jared Campione home in 12th and 13th. Peter Grant back on track and finishing 14th. Josh Brisbane completes the runners, with Manny Mezzaselma finding the runoff area on the last lap. So, looking at the points tallies after round 4, as the 944 Challenge Series competes nationally as well as locally in Australian states, there are 2 sets of championship points awarded to drivers. And firstly, looking at the Victorian State Series with just 2 rounds to go, it's still Chris Lewis-Williams who leads that tally. But Cameron Bella now moves up into 2nd, and Adam Brewer pushing hard just back in 3rd. Mark Verdino, not far away though, now up into 4th. Jamie Westaway moves up to 5th with his 3 race wins for the weekend, and Richard Howe also up places after a strong Sandown. Tony Andrzejewski moves up 3 spots with his solid weekend too. Lyndon Watson completes the top 10. Tony Westaway, Jared Campione and now Andy Tudor mid-pack, with Sam Rofe and Carter Fox completing that table with limited running. Whilst in the overall 944 Challenge Series, after a strong weekend of podiums, it's Cameron Bella who now moves back into the lead. The Sandown weekend of results also sees Chris Lewis-Williams move up as well, and he now sits just 5 points off the top of the championship. Whilst the incident in race 2 sees frontrunner Adam Brewer now drop down the order to 3rd, but again, still only 10 points off the lead after his wins earlier in the season. Mark Verdino replaces Mark Torbitz in 4th from 5th, and he too is now only 12 points off the overall championship lead. Jamie Westaway, a big mover, up to 6th, despite missing rounds at Winton and the Bend. Nick Carpenter and Joey Cullick inside the top 10. Tony Andrzejewski also moves up 4 places after his Sandown performance, and again that's despite missing rounds at the Bend and Winton. Josh Brisbane also up 3 places to sit mid-pack. Johnny Venoris and Andy Tudor now inside the top 20. Jimmy Mitchell and Sam Rofe completing that table again with limited running. If it's close, hard and fast racing in stunning Porsche machinery on some of Australia's best racetracks that you're after, head over to our website www.944challenge.com and check out all the information. The 944 Challenge Series will be back, bigger and better, for round 5 at the fast and furious Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit on the 4th of October. We look forward to seeing you there. In conjunction with Blendline TV, this has been a production by Pit Lane Media.